Lupe Fiasco has a new album coming out on June 28th titled Samurai, and we just got the intro track / title track for the project, Samurai. From what I've seen regarding the album, its initial concept is focused on Amy Winehouse as a battle rapper in Japan, which comes from an interview where Amy Winehouse herself mentioned that if she were to be a battle rapper in Japan, she would be like a samurai. This also kind of pulls from the 2015 biopic where she herself mentioned that a bunch of battle raps kept coming to her. Given that this project has been in the works since 2019 and that this is the first project I believe that Big Chill's worked on since The Cool, expectations are pretty high, and clearly there's been a lot of work put into it. As far as the song itself goes, it touches on some of the topics of the concept, and I feel like it does a good job as an intro for the project. Samurai starts off with the chorus, which apparently pulls directly from a voicemail sent to Salam Remy from Amy Winehouse. It goes, if we're to assume that this project is going to go through the entire life of Amy Winehouse as a battle rapper, this intro makes a lot of sense. And this song being the first song on the project also makes more sense. This is very early in her career, or like right when she's thinking about being a battle rapper. So like maybe she's not ready to go into it, but like all these thoughts and ideas are coming into her head. So she has, something building, like, and she just needs to get it out there essentially. Where the album is going to go after this, I'm not entirely sure. Like, how far is it going to go? Is it just going to follow her actual life? Is it going to go and create a different life for her? We'll just have to wait and see. But so far, pretty solid intro. This then goes into the first verse, which starts off with
big eyes looking like skies and binoculars. Two nights live singing by the opera house, but not in it. Just buy it.
Which at first I imagined as someone looking at an opera house, possibly the Sydney Opera House specifically, because that's just the one that came to mind, through binoculars. It's all for the sake of creating something greater and chasing your dreams. Like, you're not quite there yet, but you're on your way. You want to get there, so being near it is good enough for now. It's kind of like people performing outside of a big venue. They're chasing their dreams. They're trying to be like, all right, I'm going to get there one day. I'm going to just be right next to it for now. And eventually, I'll get there. I'll be performing at this big ass place. The following lines where Lupe mentions the long silence after the performance is done could just, again, be when the song is done and everyone's just left like with wonder and amazement. Or, just being realistic, like maybe no one was really paying attention to begin with. It's like, someone is singing or rapping their ass off and then they're done with their song and everyone's just kind of standing there like, cool. However, it does lean more into the wonder and amazement bit because like this performance, I guess, is designed to raise the eyelids of blind men. Like, this is such a big performance that it's impressive and it's almost like a holy experience of sorts. Because again, you made a blind man open his eyes. Like, what? He doesn't have to open his eyes for anything. Why? What else is happening? The next bit about warm regards, age, kindness, and the vein of gang violence could honestly just be commentary about the current state of things, even though I feel like this project is meant to be placed a bit in the past. I mean, similar themes are going to be carried out throughout the years, right? But it could also be about how battle rap does include gun bars, which then goes well into the rises like wings on a plane line because of the presumed death of these gang members and people in general. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be about battle rap. It could just literally be about how rappers are dying left and right. They are going off into the skies like a plane with the confidence of a pilot who's flown into the eye of a hurricane. The next bit,
stylish, same shoe in different sizes, with evidences of the mileage and the growth. Top hats and coats, tuxedos and throats where the bow ties post. People
in general may have the same background, like they may have the same shoe. They all start off with the same thing. They all have the same basic essential, I guess. But as things go on, they grow differently in different times in different ways. These clothes that we put on with the uniformed shoe shows the different areas of growth and change that people have experienced, as well as literally the career path that they've chosen for themselves. Because he goes on to mention like hard hats and different attire, essentially. This then goes on to the second verse, which honestly can either be seen as a fast forward or the samurai dreaming of the future. They're performing in front of soon-to-be fans and they're imagining the cameras going all around them. So it's kind of like a, they're still in front of the opera house. They finish their performance. They're like, oh yeah, that was amazing. That was so good. Or, this is actually what's happening. They could be, like I said, they could be seeing things, or this legit could be what is going to happen to them in the future, or where they're at as if we fast forwarded. Then we get the bit.
If you analyze, she's a one-woman gala, glamorized, just without the glamour or the gala ties. Man, I'm more alive with the jazz guys, eating piano pies at the Vanguard.
She's an artist and staff. At this point, it feels like the samurai actually is more of, someone who's a little bit smaller. They are giving off the appearance of someone who's much bigger and more important than they actually are, though. They dress well and everyone's paying her attention. But at the end of the day, she is both the artist and the staff. Like, yes, she's doing all this, like she's putting on the show and everything, but she also has to work. Like, you, as artists, you have to do multiple jobs for a while. Like, it's very rare that you can just go straight into it. Like, yeah, you have your dream job of being an artist, but you still got to pay the bills. And that's what the samurai seems to be doing here. Further evidence is given by the time that she spends with the jazz guys. And just along with them, she's using the tips to get half of a turkey sandwich. It's just, we put on this show, I guess, and put on a facade that we have all these things. But realistically, we're just trying to get by. This then goes on to the duality of her appearance and how she and the jazz guys are all dressed up and nice in this specific moment. But if they try to go outside and perform in the street, they get the police called on them, which is also kind of weird because if they are the staff, like, why are you calling police on your staff? Come on now. That's weird. Obviously, it is likely that there's still more to the track and then what I've mentioned here, because, this is only off of a couple listens. Like, Lupe is one of those people that puts so much thought and meaning into what he puts out, even on like the concepts that seem super basic. Like, this album has been in the works for so long. Like, clearly it's been thought out and there's probably more to it. Or it could just be super accessible. I mean, this is like the first track. Maybe you just want to get people willing to listen, I guess. The production, as always, very solid. As are the lyrics from Lupe and the delivery. However, the thing that really shines here, in my opinion, is the chorus. Lupe has always been perfectly capable of creating catchy hooks, but sometimes it doesn't connect. This time, however, it's super catchy, and like I said at the beginning of all this, it's been stuck in my head every time I listen to it. Like, it's just constantly playing. I am really curious to hear how the rest of the project turns out, and just how deep this concept will run, considering, again, this has been in the works for so long. Like, is it going to be something super surface level, or are we going to get a whole lot of different concepts going? Like, are we going to get even deeper into Amy Winehouse's life, like her actual life, or the possible battle rap life that she could have had? Like, if history had turned out differently and she was still around, maybe this is what we're getting. Like, maybe Lupe is just going to assume that. I don't know, though. We will have to wait and see, but luckily it's not a long wait. It's just over a month. So, we'll be there. It also might be one of the easier concept albums that Lupe's put out to process, just because it looks like it's going to be on the shorter end, but again, who knows? It can get super deep. But that's kind of all I've got to say. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the track, if you've listened to it. If you haven't, definitely do so. It was a jam. I enjoyed it. And while you're down in the comments, also let me know what you think this album's going to sound like. Is it going to sound more like this song, or is it going to be something entirely different? Is he going to get super lyrical just out of nowhere, or is he going to kind of pull in some more melodic stuff, kind of like this song? And while you're down there, like, subscribe to see more rambling and content like this, because I for surely will be talking about the album. But that's all I've got. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.